Well, meanwhile, 21st Century Fox has reportedly agreed to pay Gretchen Carlson $20 million over sexual harassment claims. This comes 2 months after Carlson accused former Fox News chief Roger Ailes of sexually harassing her. Ailes resigned from Fox in July. Carlson claimed that her career was sabotaged because she refused sexual advances. In a statement, Carlson said she's now ready to move on to the next chapter of her life. She also thanked all the women who stood by her. Well, earlier we spoke to Politico media reporter Hadas Gold about the settlement.
There was a little bit of an element of surprise here because originally Gretchen Carlson and her team had said that they were going to fight they wanted to see this case in court. They wanted evidence to come out in court. There had been no talk of a settlement. Now, obviously, what's happened in the last 2 months is that Roger Ailes ultimately resigned from Fox News, and more women have come forward with allegations of sexual harassment. And perhaps this is Gretchen Carlson and her team decided that their goal had been reached in some ways, and she's now taking, as has been reported, a $20 million settlement, and importantly, a public apology from 21st Century Fox about what happened.
Now, the other big headline related to Fox today is that one of its star primetime anchors, Greta Van Susteren, has announced that she's leaving the network after serving the channel for 14 years. Now, we should be clear that we don't, it doesn't appear as if it is connected in any way to this lawsuit and the Carlson payment, but certainly the fact that these two items were made public on the same day creates an appearance of relativity. What can you tell us about that?
There is actually somewhat of a connection between the two, and the reason is actually about Greta Van Susteren's contract. Greta Van Susteren was one of the anchors at Fox News who had what's called a key man clause in her contract. What that means is that should a specific person, for example, Roger Ailes, the head of a network, the head of a company, leave the company, she can try to renegotiate her contract or exit the contract without any consequences. And it appears as though that may have been invoked, that she tried to renegotiate her contract after Roger Ailes left and that it was unsatisfactory, and so she decided to leave because based off the deal in her contract that she could do so. A source close to the situation has told us that it was based off of a financial decision, which does lend credence to that idea that it was a contract issue with the key man clause attached to it. But it is definitely shocking. I mean, nobody really saw this coming. Greta Van Susteren has been with Fox News for 14 years. What's interesting, though, is that at another network, at HLN, there is an opening for a primetime anchor, and one of their chief legal people, Nancy Grace, has just left. Greta Van Susteren is an experienced lawyer. Interestingly enough, one of my colleagues tweeted about this today, and who favorited the tweet about there being an opening and a need for a legal mind? Greta Van Susteren favorited that tweet. So,
I was really surprised, Hadas, because anyone who knows Greta knows she's constantly on her iPhone or BlackBerry and tweeting all the time. So when we heard nothing from her side today, we were kind of a little surprised by that. But I want to ask you, though, Hadas, about what happens to Roger Ailes now. We've heard he's working, maybe advising the Trump campaign a bit. Puts Fox News in a little bit of a tough, interesting situation, doesn't it? If he's working, the old boss from Fox News, now advising Trump, where does he go? Could he possibly start his own network with Donald Trump?
It does place Fox News in an uncomfortable position. Actually, Bret Baier, one of the top anchors, told Politico in an interview today that it's an uncomfortable situation to be in, and it's not easy. He is advising Donald Trump, not in any sort of formal capacity, but he has been with Donald Trump several times. He's advising him, especially ahead of the debates. Roger Ailes has a lot of experience in this and advised Ronald Reagan in the debates before, so he's a good person to have to advise you before a big debate like this. In terms of what he could do next, he does have a non-compete as part of his contract and the agreement that they had when he exited Fox News, that he can't go to another cable network. That doesn't preclude him from doing something else, perhaps another type of media company, and there's likely some sort of time period on that, so it could be a few years before he does that. And don't forget, similar to what he's doing with Donald Trump, he's informally advising. That doesn't mean that he can't talk to people about perhaps a new media company. There have been rumors about Trump TV and Jared Kushner, Donald Trump's son-in-law, potentially trying to start that up. I wouldn't be in the least bit surprised if they went to their good friend Roger Ailes for help and advice on that.
So it's not a crazy idea there.
Yeah, no, we could certainly see that. And Hadas, I'm just wondering where all of that leaves Fox News. With Ailes out, reports that even current management is really a stopgap measure until the election. I mean, they have their #1 ranking to protect. Any thoughts on that?
So right now, Rupert Murdoch has taken the reins and is, really trying to show himself to be an active and involved head of a news organization that he's otherwise been kind of at a 30,000-foot view at for a while. He's been sending memos to all the staff about different things, developments, something you'd normally see out of a chairman or CEO of a company. And he has instituted these new co-presidents who have been long-time Fox News executives, who a lot of the anchors like and trust, but who were also right under Roger Ailes, and so they're kind of continuing that culture, continuing what Roger Ailes built. There has been a lot of talk about who could take over. Likely everything as it is will stay in place at least until the election is over to kind of help get some continuity and stability into the network. But there's a lot of names being thrown about, everybody from Rebecca Brooks to Jesse Angelo. There's a lot of people in the news business who, David Rose of CBS, people have mentioned that could come in and take over.
We've heard about that one.
But he is under contract. He is under contract for a little bit longer.
So we have nothing to worry about, Hadas, is what you're telling us. Is that what you're...
We're being selfish here. Do we have jobs post-election or what?
There might be some changes post-election, and it might really spell a change in direction for Fox News.